Vasyl Lomachenko needs to get busy because he's been extremely inactive. He's fighting less than 2 times a year on average. He's gonna have to fight a little more consistent than that going forward, especially given his amateur pedigree and how much damage he's actually taken in these fights, which is almost none. I understand the tournament he fought in, but that doesn't really count as going professional. But he went professional October 12, 2013. And he only fought 1 time that year. In contrast, Anthony Joshua went professional October 5th, 2013, just 7 days before Lomachenko, and he fought 3 times that same year. Well, I understand it was the end of the year and everything, but when we go a little deeper, 2014, which was actually Vasyl Lomachenko's busiest year, he only fought 3 times. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua fought 7. We'll go ahead and throw in Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko went professional at 18 years old, and he made his professional debut in November 26, 2013. He also fought 1 time in 2013, but the damn year was almost over. But the next year, when Lomachenko fought 3 times, Vasyl Lomachenko and Anthony Joshua, respectively, fought 7 times apiece. In 2015, Vasyl Lomachenko fights twice. He took no damage in those fights. I believe both were 12-round decisions. Vasyl Lomachenko and Anthony Joshua fights 5 times apiece. Which brings us to 2016. Vasyl Lomachenko has already had 2 fights. Anthony Joshua has already had 2 fights. And Vasyl Lomachenko has had 1. So on average, Anthony Joshua is averaging over 4 fights a year since going professional. And this is another guy who had an Olympic and an amateur pedigree. Vasyl Lomachenko, who was actually younger, who was a highly touted amateur, but wasn't as good as a Vasyl Lomachenko. Despite the fact that only been 18 years old, he's fought almost, if he fights 1 more time this year, he'll be averaging exactly 4 fights a year if he fights 1 more time this year. Lomachenko is averaging less than 2 fights a year, and he's the oldest of the 3. Vasyl Lomachenko is only 20. I believe Anthony Joshua is 25, 26. Vasyl Lomachenko is 28 years old. Let's put that in perspective. If he fights 2 times a year, which is above his average at this point, for the next 6 years, that's only 12 fights. He'll retire about 18-1, and that's assuming that he wins all the fights, because of those lower weight classes are not that forgiving when you're getting a little older. And it appears that Lomachenko is going to be going up, gradually going up. Long story short, I just need to see more of Vasyl Lomachenko. It seems like he's looking for the big money fights, and that's fine. But there's nothing wrong with staying busy in the meantime. This guy should be fighting 3 or 4 times a year, at least, given the amount of damage he's taking, because he's not taking much damage in these fights. Even if you look at 2014, that's the year that he actually fought Salido and lost. That probably was the most damage he took in his professional career, and he still managed to fight 3 times that year with a tougher schedule. He fought Salido, Pyri Yapinho, and Gary Russell that year. 3 12-round fights. So he put in more rounds that year. He took more punishment, and he fought tougher competition in 2014 than any other year of his professional career. So we can't use tougher competition as an excuse, because the year that he fought the stiffest competition, he fought more often. The next year, 2015, I believe he had 2 knockouts, and he still only fought twice. So, long story short, I just need to see a lot more from Lomachenko going forward. I understand his amateur pedigree, but the guy's 28 years old, and there is no excuse to be fighting less than 2 times a year. I'm out.